Hey YouTube, this is Numistaka, review from the skies above your head on a journey with China Eastern Airlines, who are sort of SkyTeam along with Delta and Air France and KLM and other airlines. And this is a trip report from London via Shanghai to Sydney on the newly configured and refurbished A330s, known as the 33E designation. So you can see from the seat map that the business class on these planes is configured 1-to-1. Every business class seat gets access to an aisle, which is pretty cool. And let's have a look at how China Eastern say this flight is going to look. It's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be lots of happy, handsome people sitting in seats. Here's a look at the newly configured business class and the entertainment system. Everything is going to be fabulous and state-of-the-art, and be interesting to compare the reality with the actual when I get up in the air on Friday evening with China Eastern. Here's a quick look at what I'm not going to be getting. I'm not going to be getting a first class suite. I'm not going to be getting a double bed in the sky. I'm not going to be getting a walk-in duty-free shop. And I'm not going to be getting, I would imagine anyway, the air rice cooker or the air toaster. So we'll see what I will be getting. All of those cool things are available on the brand new 777-300 service from China Eastern, which is doing its best to really improve at the moment as a key member of SkyTeam. So let's start a very long journey to Sydney, Australia. I've done a bit of research and found out which particular plane is going to be used today, and the good news that it appears to be a pretty new plane, 2015 delivered plane, so that's normally a pretty good sign that it's not going to be totally worn out and knackered, but of course things can change even when you get to the airport and check in. So let's start the day. So it's an evening flight to Shanghai, so having done pretty much a full day's work, there was a pickup from China Eastern. So if you buy a business class ticket in the UK with China Eastern, then they will quite often be able to send a limousine to take you from home to Heathrow, providing home is, I think, no more than 50 miles away. So the plane leaves from Terminal 4 at Heathrow, which is the SkyTeam terminal. So China Eastern is part of SkyTeam. In fact, this terminal is the terminal that Delta Airlines have been using for quite a while, but they seem to have decided to move to Terminal 3, which probably makes sense given their relationship with Virgin and enables the use of the Virgin Sky Club. So all the other SkyTeam airlines will be left using the SkyTeam Lounge at Terminal 4. SkyTeam Lounge is available to medallion gold card holders, and on various airlines you need to be SkyTeam Elite Plus on an international itinerary, and that gets you into the previously magnificent SkyTeam Lounge, which is now probably not quite as squeaky clean and wonderful as it was when it was first opened a few years ago. So the flight seems to be on time. We're going to be taking flight MU552 to PVG, to Shanghai Pudong International Airport, and thankfully as a medallion holder I can spin right past all the crowds flying business class today, and that gets you through all of the check-in and onto the plane really quickly. And the good news is that it is a modern plane, and as you can see, it's got the 1-2-1 kind of herringbone kind of pattern and that means loads of space and quite a bit of comfort for business class passengers, an amenity kit from Clarins, and hot towel service with either champagne or orange juice. I love the international type plug, it's really nice to see that. Flew Virgin and all I got was a very old adapter and no plug at all on premium economy the other week. But as you can see, this is actually a really good business class, lie flat beds, nice big TV, lots of personal space. Because of the 1-2-1 configuration, every seat in business class has access to an aisle, which is a big thing, because if you get stuck in a window seat and somebody's sleeping or something in the seat next to you, then you have to step over them, and that can be difficult, and you never know whether you can wake them up, and you can have a problem if you want to go to the loo in the middle of the night, that kind of thing. But nevertheless, let's take off from London Heathrow, and I couldn't show you on the video because it was a bit too dark, but I did get a good glimpse of Concorde at Heathrow, which I love to see, which was standing there at the back of Heathrow when we were taxiing. But smooth takeoff, London disappearing into the distance, and time to focus on the flight itself and enjoying some of the amenities of China Eastern. One of the big things is you get a chance to look at the menu only for about 45 seconds before the FA takes it away from you, so it's actually quite difficult to choose properly what you're going to eat. And then you never see the menu again. They seem to only have 1 or 2 menus for the whole compartment. The food itself on the way out, as you can see, really not too bad. The soup was quite tasty, and I've really got nothing very much to complain about in terms of the food. The wine is a little bit sparse. They don't come along and fill up the wine very much. You never see the actual wine bottle to show what wine you're getting. It's all a little bit hidden away in the back, and God only knows whether actually you're being given the wine that you've actually chosen on the menu. So, a little bit of sleeping, and then almost time to get off the plane in Shanghai, whizzing across Asia, across Russia, and down into Shanghai, China. Don't see very much of anything you pass over because it's a night flight, but a little breakfast. Breakfast appears rather too early in the morning, so I really focused on just a little bit of fruit and stuff, and didn't really eat everything that was available, because you can get another complete big meal if you feel so inclined very early in the morning. So a few sneaky photographs and video coming in to land at Shanghai PVG airport. A few views of Shanghai coming up to the airport. Fairly industrial sort of port, and now just a little bit of video of landing in Shanghai, China. The airport here is quite a modern looking kind of terminal. I don't think it's really that modern in actuality, but you can see it's actually, it doesn't feel like a bad place. It's a nice terminal to be in. It's not a bad place to change planes between London and Australia, but I would say it's not really as good as say Incheon Airport in South Korea, or even Guangzhou in southern China that I've used before for the same journey. So first thing when you land, there's 4 hours between the landing in Shanghai and the next plane taking off. So the first thing is really the lounge hunt. Shanghai Airport is a bit of a pain in the proverbials because all the lounges are pretty small. There are no big international class lounges with everything. There are lots of gate lounges, and this lounge is number 37. Number 37 lounge is available to priority pass holders, and so that's the first one that I thought I'd try out. Having drunk through 3 or 4 Diet Cokes and a bowl of noodles, I decided to see what the China Eastern lounges have to offer. China Eastern have lounges by each gate, so I was leaving for gate 22, so found the number 22 gate lounge. Number 22 gate lounge, food maybe slightly better than number 37. Most of it looked pretty awful. Sandwiches looked disgusting, and there was nothing appetizing, and seats that were pretty uncomfortable to sit on at all in any way. So can't really recommend the quality of the lounges in Shanghai. Thankfully, almost time to find the second of today's flights. The first one was 11 and a half hours. The next one will be about 10 and a half hours. It's usually about 22 hours flying time between Heathrow and Sydney Airport, no matter which way you go. Thankfully, the second of today's planes is exactly the same as the first, with the same configuration. This time I've chosen a nice glass of champagne, which didn't really taste like anything, which was a great champagne, but it was probably better than the orange juice of the morning. And time to say goodbye to Shanghai and take off, and only another 10 hours now to Sydney, Australia. It's a long way, it really is. To do this, it might be an idea when you're doing this journey to even have a stopover for a day and see China. They now seem to have transit, which is available for 3 or 4 days without a visa, and so quite a lot of time to take a look around Shanghai and around the area. And I'd certainly recommend breaking up a journey if you've got some time to spare on the way between London and Australia. So we're in the air again. This time I've ordered a gin and tonic. They don't say what brand of gin or what brand of tonic, but it comes with some canapes before the appetizer and the meal. I can't say I was totally bowled over by the quality of food on China Eastern. The butter was okay. The soup was just about okay. This was not really very good. Generally pretty dire. Okay. I mean, airline food is never that great, but I really do think that China Eastern could do a little bit better than they did on this particular leg. The food I felt on the London to China leg, which was made in London, was of better quality than the China to Sydney leg, which was disappointing in comparison. So managed to get quite a bit of shut-eye on this flight, and pretty soon the hours rolled away and it was breakfast time, and the Haagen-Dazs ice cream was always welcome. It was served on both flights, and I do like a nice Haagen-Dazs ice cream. The breakfast, it looks vaguely promising, doesn't it, in the video, but in actual fact it was absolutely appalling. It's not a good idea for them to put the milk into the Rice Krispies or whatever the cereal was and then serve it, because it just gets soggy doing it that way. They need to really learn a couple of lessons in catering and service on this airline. But nevertheless, they did get me to Australia safely, and as you can see, we're now doing the final approach into Sydney, Australia, and landing at Kingsford Smith International Airport in Sydney. It's been a very, very long day, and on balance, if you have your own entertainment and bring your own iPad with your own films, and you bring a few snacks to augment the food from China Eastern, it's not a bad way of getting to Australia. Why did I choose China Eastern? Because it was much more cost effective than some of the other airlines, and also because they're part of SkyTeam, and I wanted the points on my Sky Miles card. So welcome to Sydney, and thanks for coming all the way over on this long trip to Australia with me. So please like, please subscribe, please comment, and let me know if you'd like any more of these trip reports when I go to different places around the world.